Hi, this is Jack from Alpha Charts with a stocks to watch video. Today is April 18th, 2021. Before we get started, this video is for educational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. Also, we are in earnings season now, so please know your earnings dates. All right, starting with the Qs. Qs are at all-time highs. So really there's nothing bearish about that. The issue is growth, as represented by the IVD Innovators 50 list ETF, is not participating. And I think there's an issue there. I go into this in a different video called State of the Market, but I think there may be some underlying issues if this doesn't get better, if the RK doesn't get better. I think there may be some issues, especially in the growth territory. I have 25 names today. Some are growth, some are others. Let's get started. All right, first one is AY. It's a newer name for me, but I kind of like how it is now going to be retesting this trend line. Can it make the right side of the base? Huge volume coming in on Friday, so I think that's a big deal. Earnings coming up in May, but I think this is one to watch. Again, this is stocks to watch. NVAX, Novavax, some decent accumulation coming in here. Again, earnings coming up, but it has broken the trend line on good volume, so this looks really nice over here. This one could potentially go much higher. Where would I trade this? I think that this is an interesting area right here to play against. But to get all the way back up to hopefully 334, 335-ish. Next up is SQM. So this is a Chilean company. Not sure what they do. Doesn't really matter. But you see that they've had this beautiful uptrend, right? Just beautiful uptrend. And now they've kind of gone sideways, drifted sideways. Some distribution in there, some new accumulation coming in, earnings in the middle of May. But I think if we could break this downtrend line, I think that's a place to manage risk against. Uber is still here and just kind of trying to figure things out. It gets above 61, that's a place to manage risk. Uber, UBER. NET, N-E-T. Here's one that I liked for a double bottom breakout. It was a false breakout. Now we have another chance for a potential double bottom breakout. I use a 23-day EMA as my stop, so I think that right now the risk reward is definitely in the favor of this one. Decent accumulation coming in here. Great day right here, up 11%, and now it's kind of consolidating the gains. Don't like that this is an outside day right here on good, actually lower volume, but still an outside day. We'll see. I think it's actionable now, but I would definitely use a stop. For me, it would be the 23-day EMA. Next up, CrowdStrike, CRWD. Again, a couple software names that are showing up again, which I kind of like. They've had a rough go of it, kind of sideways to down, and now they're kind of making the right side of their base, hopefully. This one looks really good. Cybersecurity in general looks good. It's just kind of moving sideways as the moving average down is trying to catch up. So I think CrowdStrike looks nice. Another cybersecurity name is Palo Alto Networks. I can, so maybe some resistance right in here. So it may need to go sideways, but decent accumulation happening right in the side of the base. We'll have to watch this when we got some time to earnings, but if it can either do a low volume pullback, so you get the kind of cup and handle, or move sideways, let the 23-day catch up to it, I think that'd be a nice spot. TSEM, semiconductor name. I was liking this better a little bit earlier in the week. It's now come back to retest the 23-day. If that's your thing, I would definitely keep a tight leash on this one, but that's a good spot right there as far as risk reward goes. And we have a couple weeks until earnings, so that's good. TSEM, FUTU, FUTU. is still on here and still trying to form out this base. So far, it's not doing anything wrong. It's hugging the rising 23-day, so that's a good thing. We're not seeing any kind of wholesale selling, so that's a nice looking name right there. Again, still very actionable. CVAC, CureVac, newer name. This VWAP has held pretty well so far, and just for funsies, let's see what it looks like there. Yeah, so then let's put one more in right here. Yeah, I mean it's above all its major VWAPs. It's like VWAP. Yeah, right there. That. So that's your spot right there that I would say you can manage risk against. Yeah, which is about $100, right? Kind of interesting. It's a psychological number too. So it may, again, maybe a little bit extended, may need to come back a little bit, but I think this $100-ish area is the most important area. Yeah. All right, as I made this chart a muddy mess, let's keep going. That was CVAC, CureVac. Upwork, UPWK. So this one again had a nice uptrend. Boom. Now we're kind of moving sideways. Earnings are coming up, but it's above the 23-day. Again, I'm using 23 days by stopping most of these. So a lot of these are hanging around the 23-day, which means it'd be a tight stop, right? But if it goes, the risk reward is definitely in your favor. So that's Upwork, UPWK. Next up is SLQT. So we had this kind of cup. Now it's kind of making a handle on much lower volume. Looks pretty good. 23-day is now catching up. That looks good. Again, here's the whole chart. So it's hanging out above all the IPO highs. And so this looks amazing, right? It looks really good. It'd have to break out. 32 to 32.50 would be my breakout area. And yeah, but if it starts to move higher again, that looked really good. The select quote, TXG, 10x Genomics, just grinding right in this area, not doing anything wrong. Volume starting to tail off a little bit. So again, if you could break out above 197-ish, that looks pretty good. Here comes the 23-day trying to catch up to it too. So I may need a few more days sideways, let the 23-day catch up, or maybe tag it in reverse, and that'd be a potential entry right there. Halo, H-A-L-O, Halozyme. So this one showed up on my growth scan, and it's making just the right side of a base, right? It's just kind of got this, base. There's a higher low here, which is kind of nice. Higher low here, kind of nice. Now trying to make another higher low. It's just trying to start a new uptrend, it looks like. May need a little bit more time. Something like this $50 to $51 area looks like it's significant. So that'd be the place. Earnings in another month or so. So that's Halozyme, H-A-L-O. CNNE, Cannae Holdings. I think it's a restaurant company. I'm not even sure. But as you can see, it is making higher lows, which is nice, right up to a significant important area. Good volume coming in this kind of like basing consolidation area right there. So it'd have to break out above 42.50 or so. Earnings in another month. That's CNNE. All right, so I've also noticed in my other research and work that some gold miners are starting to set up. So here's Newmont Mining, and I'm going to just delete this one. Yeah, here's Newmont Mining, and this one has broken the downtrend line already. Earnings very soon, so be careful there. But some of these mining stocks are starting to look good again. They've come back. They've kind of created a new base, and it may need some more time. Earnings coming up, but Newmont is one of the like NEM, SBSW, Seabain Stillwater. This one also is trying to break out to all-time highs. That's a pretty cool thing. Let's make sure it's all-time highs. Yep, all-time highs. So that's That's pretty amazing right there, right? Again, it's extended, right? So it may fail here, come back. But I think this type of price action is going to be interesting to watch. And I'm not sure where the next earnings date is. So be careful there. Franco-Nevada, FNV, another one. Again, earnings coming up soon, but it is trying to get back. Again, this is, this is a nice uptrend, right? I mean, we're not seeing that in a lot of other places, but the gold miners are looking okay. And there's other miners like VALE. Again, VALE is just now breaking out. And if you let's just extend that line, boom, came back, retest, moved higher. Earnings soon, so be careful. But I like this name a lot. It's VALE. Again, and look at this accumulation that's been happening here. It's a beautiful thing. Pan American Silver, PAAS. So you see that this is an area right here, and then right above it, so the weekly chart, this is a bigger area right here. So there's some resistance potentially overhead, but uptrend, then it moves sideways for, well, now it's been almost a year, right? About 11, 10, 11 months. It's moving sideways, trying to use up all this, supply that may be left over. So this one looks like it could potentially, if this is like some kind of bull flag, this could go much, much higher. That's Pan American Silver. TX. Let's go back to a daily chart. TX. That looks pretty good. I'm actually going to move this more to this area because that looks more realistic. And yeah, right there. So it gets above, this $40 to $43 level somewhere in here. That looks really good. A lot of accumulation going on in this name. Earnings coming up, but that looks amazing. Going back to some more growth names. Here's 4, making this kind of stair step higher. Again, just going sideways. Earnings. This is VCEL. VCEL is doing nothing wrong, just grinding higher. Good accumulation just recently in there, and then again, not doing anything wrong. So we like that name a lot. I'm on semiconductors, broke out, retested, and now is trying to move higher. Again, great accumulation in this one. And my last one is Full House Resorts. This one, again, not doing anything wrong. You try to break out, I guess, right here. So the nice thing about this is that it's a very, very good risk reward, right? If this starts to move higher, if it actually starts to move lower, you're out pretty quick. You see some nice accumulation coming in, a little bit of time until earnings. So not bad at all. My 4 short squeeze names, Love is still on there. It still is looking good. We have earnings. I did hold into earnings. And I held even with this nasty day over here that was down, I think 10% or so. I mean, that was pretty ugly. But again, I like to wait to the end of day to see what's going on. Heck, if I would have sold, in this area, I think of it as they already lost this money, right? Like the chance, I don't know, the chance of it going much, much low after a big move like that, halfway through the day is low. I was watching it though, just to make sure it didn't happen. But then it started to rebound, which is good, I guess, down 5%, and now it's come almost all the way back. So I'm still in this particular name, and again, my 23-day, which is still rising, is going to be my stop in this one. PubMatic, like it on the growth scans, like it on the short squeeze scans. You see I have some VWAPs in here. It's still holding 23-day just fine, which I love. That shows a lot of strength and potential support right there at the 23. Even when it probes lower, it closes above. It's very nice. Newer name, again, the chart's a little bit loose, right, but it's a short squeeze potential, so I have lighter positions than I would normally have for these. Now, going back to mining stocks, Arch Resources is on my short squeeze scan, so this is one that I may, I'm not currently part of, but I may consider. Earnings very soon, so I'd wait till after earnings for sure. But this is a significant area, this $50 to $52-ish area. But this one looks pretty good. And again, it's got a decent short float and everything else. I think this is the short squeeze right there. It didn't show up on this one. I think it was earlier in the week that it showed up. But it's looking pretty good. So that's Arch Resources. And the last one is going to be Children's Place. You know, it ran up, it kind of moved sideways in this area. It has a little while until earnings, and this one looks decent. It'll kind of double bottom-ish right here. You know, if it comes back and gets close to 23-day or starts to break out here, there's multiple places to manage risk against, and this one could potentially be a ripper. Anyway, so that's what we got for you. 25 names, 4 short squeeze names. Hope this was good for you. Good luck this week. Just be careful out there. I think that the market still isn't exactly right. So you know, especially in the growth fields, you know, when you start seeing miners and REITs and utilities and different type of different things that are more considered safe haven type plays doing well, I think there's something to be said for that. That's a piece of information. So again, everyone, just good luck.